Alright, this is page 25, number 29 through 32, and we're finding the value of x. The measure of angle AOC equals 7x minus 2, the measure of angle DOC equals 2x plus 8, and the measure of angle EOD equals 27. So I would sketch a diagram of this, and then I would take these values and I would place them where they belong. So we have the measure of angle AOC, which is all the way from here to here, and that is 7x minus 2. And the next angle is DOC. That's from D to C, that's going to be from here to here, and that's 2x plus 8. And then the last angle is here, and they say that it's equal to 27. And conveniently enough, all of these angles are adjacent to their neighbor, and they can be added. There's some of the angles here, their measures can be stated to be 180 degrees. So if I add this plus all of that, it's 180 degrees, so let's set that up. I'm going to kind of do it the long way, but I want you to do this too, and it's important that we can use the mathematical language appropriately here. So the measure of angle EOD plus the measure of angle DOC plus the measure of angle COA equals the measure of angle, and the whole angle is EOA. Let me just rewrite that real quick for you. Okay, so these are all the angles here added together to equal the entire straight angle AOE. Now we know that a straight angle, as angle AOE, has a measure of how many degrees? 180 degrees. If you didn't know it, now you do. A straight angle has 180 degrees. And then we are going to use substitution here, putting these items in place of these angles. For AOC, we have 7x minus 2. For the measure of angle DOC, we have 2x plus 8. And for the measure of angle EOD, we have just 27. Okay, and we're going to combine our like terms, 7x and 2x. That gives us 9x. And a minus 2, positive 8, and a positive 27. That's going to be, I'm going to do 27 minus 2 is 25. 25 plus 8 is 33. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the 180. And I'm going to subtract 33 from both sides. Oops. And I'll let you continue the rest. We're just solving for x. So I pretty much took you there, so you just take it home. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. And we have slightly different scenario. Again, I like to mark on my diagram, which angles we're looking at. So they tell us AOB, so you might want to put a marking there that they're telling us that. They're telling us BOC, which is here. and they're telling us COD. Now, we don't know what those three angles add up to, so you have to notice that they told these red markings here mean that these two angles are congruent to each other. So whatever you have for COB, which is, or B, the measure of angle BOC is 5x plus 10. If this is 5x plus 10, this one also is 5x plus 10. And again, that's just because they both have this red angle mark to indicate that those angles are congruent to each other. So we can write out the angle addition postulate again for all four of these angles. The measure of angle, I'm going to start from the left, EOD plus the measure of angle DOC plus the measure of angle COB plus the measure of angle BOA equals the measure of angle EOA I'm going to put up here as a side note that the measure of angle EOD is equal to the measure of angle COB. Okay. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to replace this with this down here. So the measure of COB plus the measure of angle DOC plus the measure of angle COB and I'll go ahead and I'll substitute in 180 degrees there for that now, and then we can substitute in these other values up here for these here. Make sure you're putting the right ones in the right places, like and we have the measure of angle COB, which is really the same thing as the measure of angle BOC. The outer letters can be switched, so that's 5x plus 10. Oops, that's not a good color. Plus, let's see, DOC is the same as COD, which is 3x minus 8. COB is going to be, again, 5x plus 10 plus BOA, which is the same as AOB, 4x minus 2 equals 180 degrees. We are going to combine like terms. 5x plus 3x is 8x, plus another 5x gives you 13x, 17x. And let's see, we've got 10 and 10 and a minus 8, that's 12. And another minus 2, that's 10 then, right? So let me just double check that. We've got positive 10, 10, and then a negative 8 and negative 2, that's like a negative 10. So you're just left with one of those positive 10s. Equals 180 degrees. Subtract 10 from both sides, and I think you guys get the idea from here. Yes, I do want you to write all this stuff out. Maybe it's not exactly the same order that I wrote it in, but I want you to be able to understand the mathematical language and process that we are using here. Okay, I'm going to put in another video so that I don't have too large of a video. But yeah, go ahead and write all this out and ask yourself, do you know why and how we're doing this? Because you need to understand the mathematical language. Just putting an answer down on the paper doesn't prove anything. It's whether or not you can understand this stuff. If you have a question, please post it.